Hi everybody, Jerry here. Um, I owe you guys a catch and cook video. I do, well, not really, I guess a cook video more than a catch and cook. I do one a year, but I owe you one from last year, but I'm going to do one this year too, or late, whenever the year ends. So anyway, I was going to do a trout cleaning video, which I'm cleaning now, and look at this. I found some beautiful eggs or roe and whatnot, and the first thing in my mind was like, no way I'm gonna do caviar. Been a while since I made it, but one thing, it's simple, it's easy to do, anyone can do it, and it's not really a cook because we're not cooking here, but it's gonna be fun. And the cool thing about this, you only need 3 ingredients: fish eggs or roe, water, and salt, and you can make caviar, and it's a very enjoyable meal. And so let's get to it. Let me put these eggs aside here, and we'll get going. Okay, you can get your eggs aside and give them a good rinse if you want. I didn't, but I use plain old salt. You can use that fancy kind, but I don't call this poor man's caviar for nothing. But basically, I use 4 cups of water to about 1/3 to 1/4 cup of salt. And cold water works great, right out of the tap. So we go 1, 2, here we go, 3, and 4. Now this is enough to do about a 1 to 2 pound trout, the amount of eggs you're going to get. And those eggs are going to go a long way. You're going to get a nice meal out of this. So I make my mixture. So I'm mixing up 4 cups of water to about 1/3 to 1/4 cup of salt here. And all I'm going to do is gently mix the salt with my hands. Now I'm just making this for myself, so I'm just using my hands. So if I was making it for you, I'd use gloves. That'd be nice. But just mix it up until you feel those granules start to disappear, and you just mix gently. And this is like a touchy kind of meal, so just mix it, and you're going to feel those granules disappear. When you feel most of those granules disappear, you're ready to go. So let's get to the next step. Next, we're going to add our eggs into our salty brine mixture. You're going to let them soak for 15 minutes. I didn't feel like waiting, so I got right to it. You can do it like this too, but it's going to be easier if you let them soak for 15 minutes, because that membrane is going to peel off a lot easier. The way I did it, I'm just slowly letting the salt permeate, and it almost makes the membrane tighter and more easier to pull and peel. But you can slowly just work those eggs off. Like I said, this is a very hands-on approach. And it's delicate, but these eggs are quite firm, and once they absorb the sodium, they firm up and they'll come off, slowly, easily, but surely. So just work it through until you get the eggs off, and we'll get moving on here. When all the eggs are completely removed from the membrane, we're going to strain them. Just use a little strainer, that's all you use. And we're going to save a cup of the brine, and so because we're going to have to put the eggs back in that. That's what I have below the strainer there. So I'm straining all the eggs, and I'm getting them all out, and just get the eggs. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put them right back in to the brine and get all that goodness off your strainer. Get every last egg in there. Makes a difference. Then we're just going to place in the refrigerator right now, and I keep them in there for about an hour, and we're going to remove them. 1 hour passes, and we are ready for the next step. Now we're going to remove some of those floating membranes. You can use a spoon or your fingers or both. You can see a lot of that membrane is going to float to the top. I keep a few in there. It adds a little character, but get most of them out. The character is always good. It adds personality. I'm not a perfectionist, so I'm just looking for a nice meal. But we're going to strain these eggs again, and right through the strainer here, and there we go. Get them all in, every last piece of goodness. And we're going to take a look at these here. And wow, well, look at that beautiful color. They really came out nice. And I like to make a quick mention I forgot to add was, you can do this with any fish eggs of your preference, or any eggs that you enjoy. Try it with all kinds of fish eggs if you have them. It's fun and easy. As you see, we're almost done. Now, I didn't mention this step because this is optional. If you plan on eating right away, or if you don't like oil, you want to keep it healthy, you can skip the oil and get right to eating the eggs. But I like to add 1 teaspoon of olive oil and just mix it up really good. And at this point too, also, I didn't add, you can infuse all kinds of flavors if you enjoy that. I don't know, peppers or smoking, or spices, or any kind of flavor you want to infuse. You can do it at this point. But whatever you do, whatever you add, just mix it up good. You can look online for all different kinds of flavor, but I like the mild flavor of trout eggs. And we're basically going to give this, I give this one more final strain. I just like to get all those excess juices out, and I'll do what I did before. I'll let it sit and strain for a good while, just as such, for about 15 minutes, in or out of the fridge. It's up to you. But we are just about real ready, almost done, ready to get eaten. So I'm just going to place this right back in my bowl, and you can put it back in the refrigerator and eat it a day later, a week later. It lasts for a good while, but I'm going to eat mine now. Wow, I'm like really impressed myself. It has some really beautiful color to it. Really looks pretty. Really nice. But you can use any spread. You can use cream cheese, sour cream, butter, and you can put them on bagels, crackers. This time of year, matzahs are nice. Gotta love matzahs, and anything you want. But I think I am gonna go for, let's see here, definitely the bagel. So you can eat this any way you want, but I'm just gonna, finish her up right now. But just take a nice slice there, and like I said, you can use any kind of spread underneath, but I'm gonna just have this straight up. Get a nice little scoop of our poor man's caviar on top, and it's definitely best plain itself. Let's take a taste. Wow, that's great. It's actually very mild and tasty. I'm just gonna go for a little more plain, and this is, wow, this is really enjoyable. Better than store-bought, and actually this probably be about 20 bucks worth of caviar somewhere. So I'm gonna try some different toppings here as we go. But thanks all for watching. I hope you had some fun with me, learned something new, or not, or just enjoyed watching. But I'm gonna try this one here with some cream cheese, finish this up and get going. Wow, good stuff. Look at it, perfect. All right. Thanks again for watching. Please like, dislike, comment, love them all, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, fish and make caviar your way. See you next time.